More than 1.2 million adults and adolescents in the United States are living with HIV, and 1 in 8 don't even know it. For 2 decades, I have advocated for programs that reduce the risks of HIV transmission and help to change that fact. Often these programs are controversial, such as clean needle exchange, but are proven methods to limit HIV exposure. By working with other AIDS activists over the years and dealing with state and federal government, I have gained insight into other programs as well. HIV hit our correctional facilities early and hit them hard. In 2010, 35,000 inmates were known to be infected, of which 91% were men. Federal and state prisoners were 5 times more likely to have HIV than those not incarcerated. Because of high prison population turnover, these prisoners soon return to society. Prison health issues then become community health issues. There is a growing body of evidence that HIV transmission in prison is a major health concern and that implementation of evidence-based programs are needed. Prisoner HIV transmission to the public is a particular concern where there is a large pool of infection in the community that the prisoners come from. Risky sexual behaviors are high in prison, and prison measures are not available for prevention to the prisoners. Our prisons take people from different backgrounds with whom would never otherwise meet and creates the opportunity to spread HIV. Upon return to their communities, they are potential sources of transmission. Risks of becoming infected with HIV while incarcerated include the rate of infection in that particular prison, prevalence of sexual activity, and availability of condoms. These 3 simple items can help prevent needless suffering and death. The condom, water-based lubricant, and an educational pamphlet. Ready access and proper use of these items may be taken for granted while living in our society, but what if one is in jail or in prison? Currently in the United States, only California and Vermont have passed laws requiring condom distribution programs in prisons. Education in condom use has been scientifically proven to reduce HIV transmissions around the world. Why then the resistance to condom distribution programs? The glaring reason is that it is illegal in most states for any sexual activity in our jails and prisons. Many complain that providing condoms will encourage sexual activity. Another objection is that when filled, the condom may be used as a weapon or to transport contraband. Homophobia may also play a role in the fight to prevent condom distribution programs. There is evidence that providing condoms in a prison setting is possible. No prison system allowing condoms has ever reversed its policy, and none has reported security problems or negative consequences. The distribution has not affected operations, does not lead to increased sexual activity, and is accepted by most prisoners and staff. The reason this topic is very near to my heart is the story of my friend John, who unfortunately passed from AIDS in 2008. We met and became close friends while my husband and I were on a trip to Florida. The friendship continued as we both lived in Los Angeles. John did not identify as gay or bisexual, but while in prison on drug charges, had a relationship with a fellow inmate. John told me of a subculture called MSM, men who have sex with men, while incarcerated. He said the guards and staff understood the situation but were in denial. He mentioned also the system was getting better about handling sexual violence, but even that information was suppressed. After 2 years, John was released and he returned to his wife and child. He, like all of his friends who spent time in prison, never spoke of the sex while behind bars. He said he discovered that even completely straight guys fooled around and never considered it gay. The sad part is that they also brought back HIV and exposed their partners and wives to this disease. During a routine physical, John was told he had tested positive for HIV and needed to tell his wife to be tested. You can imagine how painful this was for his family. John told me it was the hardest thing he had ever had to do in his life. Sarah, his wife, tested negative, but the revelation destroyed their marriage and they soon divorced. John did not let these events destroy him. He not only stayed clean and sober, but worked with me as an activist towards what is now required in California and Vermont, prison condom distribution programs. Our current correctional policies seem to be based on the assumption that HIV is not transmitted inside our prisons and then on to our communities. But the truth is, with every prisoner released, that possibility is real. We have an opportunity to make a change. Please contact the Director of the Virginia Department of Corrections, Harold Clark, and voice your support for this easy and life-saving program for our prisons. I will provide his email and phone number, and I urge you to act. The sooner we make the system change, the more families and lives are saved. Thank you very much.